Okay, we're Burton Latimer Heritage Society. If you might think where, it's a small town in the wham in the centre of Northamptonshire. About 8,000 population, was a boot and shoe town and some clothing factories. That's all gone, but we still have Weetabix, the only factory of its type in the country. So read the packet carefully, and that's the unique bit about the town, plus some other things. Okay, I'm connected with the Heritage Society insofar as I run the website that they have, and we are about to pass, the site launched in 2005, and this month, at the average rate we get of page views, we will clock up 500,000 page views this month, since we launched in June 2005. In the archive, there's an archive of something like 3,000–4,000 photos. In the archive, other than photos taken of sports teams and gala days, we actually have very few shots of children and young people at play in their ordinary, everyday lives. And nobody seems to have had a thought of taking photos of young lives in the evenings, weekends, school holidays. What did they do with themselves in their spare time? And if you go back and think about the 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, young lives then, they've all come and gone now, and the things that they had were part of the general landscape of young lives. Nothing. We have not one photo of things like the use of a pogo stick, a hula hoop, space hopper, chopper bike, Rubik's Cube, Nintendo Game Boy, all those things which, apart from all the board games, all the things children were doing indoors when parents say it's a wonderful day, why don't you get out and play and get in the sunshine outside? And so the main time of all those things has come and gone. Some images of these might yet turn up, but it's now quite by chance. So what we wanted, instead of being left with, at the best, verbal accounts and no photos, was, okay, have a contemporary account. What is it like for young lives, young people in Burton Latimer now, 2010-11? Rather than wait 30 years and then we get the reminiscences and maybe some photos and then memories are being strained to remember the details, all these things can be told now. Their ideas, their views, their voices. I'll gladly dispense with the future value and rarity value in 30 years' time to get the information now. So those gaps which we suffer from over the last 50 years are not going to be everlastingly repeated. So, as far as I'm concerned, the images and narratives that have been captured as part of this project stand on an equal footing with anything else we have in the archive. This is their views, their pictures, their stories. And it's equally valid with something of a 80-year-old guy who used to work in a shoe factory and is telling us about his life there. Equal footing. Young people are being empowered to curate an exhibition which is due to come up in the next couple of months, and the photos they've taken with some narrative text can be translated onto that website that we've got, which will then give them a worldwide audience. We know we've got that. I do the stats for the site every month, and I know exactly where our visitors come from and how many of them we get. So it's opening that door to a much wider worldwide audience, and that process will follow on from the project. The project only finished last week, and we sort of put this together for you today. So that's me, that's it. Can I cue Adam and Eric, who are the people we employed to run this project for us, and they will take you through the process, the outputs, and some of the young people will speak about what it's meant to them. Thank you very much.
Hello. My name's Adam, and this is Eric, and we make up Solid State Creatives, and we led the project. From the beginning, Roger showed us some photos from the archives, and as he just mentioned, there was a lot missing. And the photos that were there were all shot on film, some 35mm. And we thought it might be an interesting idea to do this project on film as well and teach the people what it meant to take photos back then so they could understand what it took. As all of them have mobile phones with cameras on their phones. Every photo is disposable and they snap away willingly all day. So we thought that'd be quite an interesting take on it. Let me just check my notes. And we also thought it was important that the young people helped us lead the project as well. So they took the photographs, they're obviously in them, They helped us choose the locations, and they co-ran the project with us, and we think that was quite an important aspect of the project. And Eric's just going to talk about how that went.
Yeah, hi, I'm Eric. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the participation and basically the flow of the project. So first things first, we decided we needed a small group. We needed like a committed group anyways. So luckily at Burton we've got a very good youth centre there, or youth club, which runs like on Mondays. So we decided we were going to go and show some, to create interest, we're going to go and show some archive photos and hopefully see what the young people think about it. Yeah, the reactions we had from the archive photos were really positive. So like a lot of the, because Burton Latimer is a very small place, a lot of the young people noticed like their family and friends and like friends of the family and stuff like that, and even like public figures and stuff like that, and like teachers and stuff like that. So from moving on from there, we had our first couple of meetings. Yeah, we had, luckily, we had the turnout we hoped for, and subsequent meetings after that, their numbers increased. Yeah, and then the young people organised the photo shoots, so that would include stuff like the activities, who would be in the photos, and most important, the locations. Yeah, this was a crucial part of the project because we directly had input from the young people, and this really helped shape the project. Moving on from there, we had the photo shoot. So we had a small or short workshop about how to use the 35mm cameras, because you know pretty much none of them had experience with that, and I don't think you can buy them anymore. Yeah, so we had that workshop, and surprisingly, the young people weren't put off by that, and snapped away with great enthusiasm. Okay, and then with the shoot completed, we discussed with the shoot completed, we picked what photos we needed, and we thought which would best communicate what the young people do with their spare time. And I'd like to introduce a couple of our young people who would like to express how they felt. Yeah. So first it will be Dan.
No, it would be Georgia.
Okay, Georgia. Cool.
Our presentation is about what young youths do in their free time. We have made some acts of what we do.
To start off, I thought the project would be boring, but then it actually turned out really fun to see what we all do in our free time or holidays. The reason why we are here today is so we can tell people what it's like, what we do today, not in 30 or 40 years' time.
Lovely. Yes, lovely. Now, the project, I think, generally, as one of the young people involved with an extremely weird hairdo that day, and a strange boy sitting on the swing, doing something which I do not wish to describe. I think the project, in whole, was a great success, except the fact it was extremely cold and they wanted us to go swimming in the local river we have.
Your idea.
I offered to do, but they would not let me wear my bikini. Apparently that's too pornographic for the pictures. And as you can see in the photo, we have, in Burton Latimer, we can say it's bad all we want, but in general it's a good place as long as you don't mess with the wrong people. We have sports facilities. We have tennis courts that's owned by a local shop. You can rent out, you can play tennis any time of the year. We have a enclosed football area. We have football pitches that where like weekly matches are played. We have a large. What are you laughing at? I'm trying to talk here. Do you want?
No.
You sure? We have a council. The council owns a relatively large pocket park at the bottom, We say pocket park. If you could fit it in your pocket, I'd be absolutely amazed. You have the biggest trousers in the world. We haven't shown it today, but in the, well, I suppose, exhibition we will be showing in the local civic centre and the museum of our town, we will be having our photos that we took. And some of them are quite good, some of them are bad because they have me in it. And there's ones, we have trains going through, we have us waving at trains, we have us, well, we have random people eating chips, pulling stupid faces. Just essentially everything that a teenager would do that we don't think anyone will realise in a few years' time. In about 10 or 20 years' time, people will be looking back on us, and maybe we'll be looking back on us going, were we really that messed up? Were we really that immature? I mean, I want to become a teacher, but I still like to dance around singing Barbie Girl. So I think it'll be a real eye-opener. I mean, we haven't had people from the 50s, the 60s, as far as I know. I haven't looked at the pictures. But as far as I know, we're the first people to take pictures of Burton Latimer with young people in it since, I don't know, when?
Probably 70s.
Probably the 70s. I don't know.
Okay.
So I think this is quite an important thing to do with our project and the history of our town. So, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
That's what I was talking about.
As you mentioned, the photos are going to go for an exhibition in Burton Latimer, which these guys are curating because they took the photos and stuff. And they're also going to go online if you guys want to check them out as well. And I mean, the project was designed from the beginning, so when the project finished, it didn't just stop and then everyone goes back to their lives. Hopefully, anyone could pick it up and continue. The young people can keep getting involved with the centre, with Roger and John. And yeah, unlike most projects that we see, which just end, stop, and then a new project starts, and then it's something new, and we wanted it to be continuous.
Well, thanks to Dan's great stage presence there. It's very good. Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for listening, and hopefully this model we can, you know, apply it to many different areas. And yeah, we're going to be showing some of the photos in the stall, and so just come and find us. And yeah, I think it's room 4. Yeah, yeah, just come and find us, and so you can view the photos the young people took. Thank you very much.